Hello and welcome, my fellow modeling and tabletop gaming enthusiasts, to the Mediocre Modeler Show. I'm going to apologize right out of the gate for the background noise. I do have my air conditioner on and a fan going because it is nearing summertime here in the Midwest. Not quite summer yet, but it is getting warm. We've had some days in the high 80s already, and it gets a little hot and stuffy up here in Mediocre Modeling Studios, so we got to do a little something to alleviate that. But as most of you history buffs are probably aware, we are approaching the 80th anniversary of D-Day, June 6th, 1944. This will be, of course, like I just mentioned, be the 80th anniversary of the largest amphibious landing in history, when the Allies were able to land on the beaches of Normandy and establish a foothold in mainland Europe, and in less than a year, end the conflict in Europe. So we're going to look at a couple of things, maybe a two-part series on a couple of different models relating to D-Day. But the first thing we're going to look at is going to be a couple of items from Trenchworx, some of their D-Day infantry sets. We've got a few other things. I've got a little bonus at the end of this video, or after we look at these Trenchworx kits, we've got a little bit of a bonus to look at as well. So without any further ado, folks, let's head on down to the table and see what you get with some Trenchworx infantry. All right, folks, here we go. So I have got two sets here. I've got the D-Day landing command team, and I've also got the 60mm mortar. So quick disclaimer, I'd placed an order at Trenchworx shortly after returning from Adepticon, and after a couple of weeks, I hadn't gotten any notifications as to it having shipped yet. So I emailed, and Dave responded. They were having to make some new molds for one of the kits that I ordered, and he said he was going to throw in a couple of extra sets for me. And since I had ordered a Higgins boat at the same time, he tossed in these D-Day sets as well. So I did not actually pay for these. These were essentially a gift from Trenchworx for being patient. So yeah, I can very unbiasedly review these then, I guess we'll say. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with the command team. So these, I stuck these in some Warlord blisters, clamshells. I love these Warlord clamshells. I keep all of them because otherwise it just comes in a bag. But we've got a number of individually packaged figures here. So obviously we've got our, just letting us know what it is, our command team, our 4-figure command team. So we've got like our commander, radio operator. Not sure what that guy's doing or that guy, but we've got 4 figures here. So we'll just take a brief look at these. So I know it's kind of tough to tell in the plastic. This might be our radio operator, actually. It's kind of tough to see the detail, but it is pretty crisp. If, for lack of a better term, somewhat basic, but I still think it's perfectly well detailed for 28mm. Definitely 28mm heroic. I'm pretty sure that they design these in 3D, print the masters in 3D, and then cast them in resin. But that's kind of one of the great things about a lot of Trenchworx kits is you get mostly resin, and then you'll get a lot of small details either in white metal or in 3D printed, and they do a really good job with their 3D printing. So there's our radio operator, and they do come with some 25mm bases. Looks like this one here, we've just got a guy with a Thompson. Maybe a slightly underscaled Thompson, but that's okay. We're not going to begrudge them that because you can still tell it's a Thompson. But yeah, you can see they've got all kinds of kit with them, entrenching tools and everything. And they've got their little, I'm not sure if that's a life jacket or whatnot there, but, very well detailed, very crisply cast and molded. I think maybe this might be our actual officer here. But again, with a Thompson, he's got the stock molded into his body there. Also like the fact that they're all just like 1 or 2 pieces, maybe 2 or 3, but not like a bunch of tiny fiddly little pieces. Again, loaded out with kit and all kinds of stuff. Maybe that's part of his life vest. But definitely very well done. And then we've got another guy here. I couldn't tell what he was carrying. Maybe he's got a weapon of some sort in his pack there. It looks like he's reaching into it. I can't tell what exactly he's got there, but looks pretty good. He's got a separate leg there, kneeling down. So yeah, that's pretty done. The faces, I mean, I like the faces. They're full of expression. A little chunky, but they're just full of expression. I really do like this. So that is our 4-man command team. We'll go ahead and put this back in here, and then we will take a look at our 60mm mortar team. Obviously, these are straight up storming the beaches. They haven't deployed their mortar just yet. But again, 4 figures in this pack. We do have some separate bases, some resin cast bases, the official Trenchworx ones. I like these ones with the lip. I really like those ones from Warlord that just holds basing stuff better, but we'll see which ones we use. So again, we've got our 4 figures. So it looks like this guy's actually carrying the mount. It's not a tripod, almost like the bipod mount for the mortar tube. And then we've got this guy here. His running looks like he's our ammo bearer, so he's got ammo cans or mortar rounds in both hands. And then we've got, looks like a support guy here. Yep, carrying more ammo. He's got his carbine slung over his shoulder. I think they're definitely wearing life vests. He's got his bandolier of ammunition there. You can even see they've cast the wood grain texture into those ammo boxes. It's pretty neat, nice little attention to detail. So then this our last guy here, looks like he should be the one. It's like this one's double bagged. It's a little tough to see. He should probably be the one carrying the tube, which I can't really see. No, he's carrying the base plate. So one of these guys has to have a tube somewhere. See if we can figure out which guy is actually carrying the tube. Oh, you know what? I bet it is this guy. So, okay, yeah, so that's not just the bipod, but it's the whole mortar assembly. So the 60 millimeter mortar was kind of like the medium mortar, maybe a light mortar. So this is, yeah, so this guy's carrying the actual mortar itself. The legs are integral to it. So there you go. Yeah, so that's our 60 millimeter mortar team. And now I did promise everyone a little bit of a sort of a surprise review at the end, and still tying in with D-Day. This is the Warlord Soldier of Fortune for March 2024, Last Rites of Captain John S. Maloney. So they had a couple examples of this shipped over to Adepticon, and I happened to be there, I think, the day that they got them, so I was able to pick one of these up. It's like, yeah, I don't really plan on doing airborne, but I'm just going to grab it anyway because why not? Just make a nice little vignette to paint up. But again, kind of a scene. The Sold to me is depicting a scene from Band of Brothers, so that's very fitting with D-Day. So again, comes in 2 pieces here. So what it is it's actually a priest administering last rites. It's called last rites, and you can see very well molded resin, lots of detail in here. Just a couple little mounting pegs there, so he mounts right in like that. And he's there giving last rites to a dying paratrooper. So yeah, that'll be I'm not sure when I'll get around to this, but it'll be a nice piece to have. Just plop this onto maybe a little plinth and just have a little vignette, a little diorama kind of thing, just for fun, just to kind of maybe make this more of a trial piece for kind of pushing the limit of my skill set. So yeah, so there we go. There is Last Rites but Last Rites Captain John S. Maloney. So yeah, all of our, I'll know what it is. It's got the sticker on the front. So a couple of D-Day themed infantry sets for you. And there you have it, folks. We've got our D-Day Landing Force Command Team and our 60 millimeter mortar team. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you also enjoyed that little bonus review of the Soldier of Fortune figure of Captain John S. Maloney. I had to look at it to remember his name. That nice little vignette piece. Yeah, I think they're pretty well done. They're really kind of cool infantry, and I may be having to do like a D-Day landing force now that I've got these, and that Warlord again re-released and slightly upgraded the new Ranger set for bolt action. So I think these Trenchworx ones would be a great addition. They've also got full infantry squads, I think maybe an engineer squad. They've got a number of infantry figures in their D-Day set. They've also got some for the German sides. They also make a lot of the more obscure Sherman variants. I don't think they actually make a waiting tank. I think Warlord does make some of the duplex drive tanks. So if you really want to get into it, you could definitely make a pretty good D-Day landing force from that. So I hope you folks enjoyed that. I hope that was useful to you. So if you feel so inclined, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, as always, for watching. And until next time, may your paints be thin, your brushes be pointy, and your dice be hot.